Susan, thanks very much for taking a bit of time to do this interview. One of the things I've just seen Susan present on, the power of introverts and how you can make the most of them. But also one of the things that I really liked about your presentation was the fact that anyone, regardless of whether you're introvert or extrovert, you really should be taking time out and cultivating solitude to get the best out of yourself and others around you as well. So would you mind sort of expanding on that concept?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. We have this idea nowadays that I call the new groupthink, which is this idea that creativity comes from a very gregarious place. And this is built on research. This comes from research that has shown that it is an important part of creativity to actually be having conversations and hear ideas from other people.
Yep.
But what we're losing with all that is something equally true, which is that solitude, going off by yourself, is an incredibly important part of being creative. And what we know from looking at the lives of the most spectacularly creative people over time is that most of them have serious streaks of introversion in them.
Yeah, right.
These are people who want to go off by themselves and be creative by themselves. From Charles Darwin to Dr. Seuss to Steve Wozniak, who invented the first personal computer, to Philippe Starck, the great innovative designer of our time. All of these people were people who wanted to go off by themselves and work alone.
Yep.
And so that's something that extroverts can really learn from introverts. Because introverts will go off on their own naturally because their temperament sort of compels them to do that.
Sure.
Extroverts, I think, can learn how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there like a habit or are there suggestions that you've got around how you can fit that into your daily routine?
I think it depends on what your workplace is like. So for some people, they work in such group-oriented workplaces, in open plan offices, that they really have to work hard, to carve out that personal time. And you kind of have to do whatever you can to get it. If you have a little more freedom in your life, then, just figuring out what your ritual is going to be.
Yep.
Like for me when I'm writing, I always go off to a cafe or to a library.
Right.
So it's not actually totally alone. There are people around me, but
Sure.
I'm in a zone where I'm not really interacting with people.
Yeah, right.
I feel their energy, but I'm in my own space.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, thanks very much, Susan. And would you mind, just in terms of other people catching up with you and finding out more about your book?
Yeah.
Where can they find you? Title of your book, all that kind of stuff.
Sure. So the book is called Quiet: The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. And I guess as an introvert, I feel embarrassed saying this, but I guess I should. It has actually become an instant bestseller all over the world. And what else am I supposed to say? And how people can connect with me.
How they can find you.
Yeah, and I love to hear from readers and to connect with readers. I'm on Twitter, at Susan Cain is my handle. I'm on Facebook, and I have a blog called thepowerofintroverts.com. And you can find me there.